Hello guys, today we'll talk about the Memorial Day weekend. Also happy Memorial Day, and also for all of the fallen soldiers and stuff. Basically, I don't really have any relatives that died in the military, but they did die protecting our country, so they deserve to be respected any way possible. But we're gonna really talk about here, we're gonna talk about the weekly 4 day chart here, which they don't have the 4 day chart yet, so we're gonna go to the week chart here, which they don't have it. We're gonna go. Do they have a 4 day chart? I bet they used to have these 4 day charts, but yep, But we have the 4 day chart, which definitely did far better than last year. 80% of Quiet Place Part Two was the number one movie of that week. And yeah, we're gonna be talking about the whole Memorial Day weekend. So we have Memorial Day box office updates around box office mojo because the numbers does not really give you the full box office for some reason. Here we already went over the box, but yeah. So we're gonna go over Quiet Place first and do a comparison between Quiet Place and those as well on the numbers. So yeah, we're going on the numbers here because they don't have the same thing here. They don't really have the updated one for the numbers here. They just have the weekend box hours, but they do. I think they do have the daily charts. But yeah, they do have. They really here, and yeah, we're gonna have to go all the way back. You have to go all the way. Quiet Place Part Two. Yeah, they don't have the numbers. The numbers has not updated the list yet. But Quiet Place Part 2 did outgrow is at 58 million, but they haven't updated for some reason on the numbers, so we have to use box office mojo anyways. So Quiet Place Part 2 made 58 million in 4 days, which is ahead of the first movie, which ended on 54 million in 4 days. Again, Quiet Place Part 1 did not release on Memorial Day weekend, which is why it did slightly worse because it was basically a longer weekend. So yeah, next is Cruella, once again, is doing actually worse than the actual projection said it would be. It said 27 million, but it only made 26 million, which means this movie is doing far worse than anyone had expected. We also have Wrath of Man, which made $22 million domestically. It has passed Nobody, which is award essentially for that movie. But we don't know how much more money Wrath of Man will make. It is coming on a couple of markets. Same thing with Spiral. But yeah, Spiral is basically a flop already. I was not surprised that movie was a failure. Wire is actually still doing pretty okay. You know, but next weekend, Spirit is gonna come out, which is gonna finally end Wire's monopoly over the PZ animated you know, movie list. And also, yeah, Peter Rabbit will also come out a couple weeks afterwards, which will also be one of those movies that is definitely going to be competing with Raya and the Last Dragon. Definitely. Because Demon Slayer is not really competition for Raya. Okay? Not really. Demon Slayer made 448 million worldwide, which is a pretty huge success. No, I don't want to go on Poor IMDb. That's like a paid service. I don't want to go on that. But we have Nobody, which made 28,000, which Kuro has passed in like 1 day, in 4 days. So Kuro is at least doing okay. It's just having an average performance at the box office. It isn't really igniting the box office. And business gotta probably encourage more companies to not delay the movies unless they have like production problems. So we don't have to worry about movies being delayed anymore because it was like really like the big week. How well will Quiet Place Part 2 did, and it outperformed the first movie essentially. It's already doing that, and now this movie is basically breaking. Basically, yeah, the box office is back to normal. Black Widow might even pass $100 million in its first weekend. We had bad news for Fast and the Furious 9. F9 is doing abysmally in China. I already made a video about that. Abysmally in China. Fast 9 is doing abysmally in China. At the box office, it's doing abysmally there. It dropped like 85% here. And yeah, we have the long weekend here. We have the long weekend updated sales, with A Quiet Place Part 2 grossing $58 million and Cruella grossing $26 million. Surprised that Disney could not beat Disney with all the money, all the, with the Disney machine, could not beat Cruella, could not beat A Quiet Place Part 2, which is an R-rated movie as well. That's basically another team. Right? Quiet Place Part 2 is an R-rated movie, and it is beating out the Disney machine at the box office. So I think this movie will show that you can beat Disney at the box office, and companies will not be so scared of competing with Disney, fighting against Disney, at the box office, and we won't have, Disney completely having a complete monopoly at the box office as well. Good for Paramount for actually, releasing a movie to compete with Disney, which, again, no company will do that with any releases. Last year we had, Anna compete with Toy Story, but nobody watched Anna. It kind of just disappeared and nobody remembers it, because of Toy Story and Disney, basically. But yeah, Cruella, despite having more fears, despite having the Disney machine behind it, despite having, the Rotten Tomatoes going out and saying how great Cruella is, saying it's a masterpiece, and of course of all the bot reviews of Cruella, saying it's so amazing, saying it's a 10 out, saying it's better than The Dark Knight. Like, you really think that this movie is better than The Dark Knight and Joker, which again is what to compare it to, but Joker has better reviews than Cruella does. So I don't know where they got the idea of Cruella being better than Joker, because it isn't, and it never will be. Okay, and you have all those bot reviews on Rotten Tomatoes that are trying to manipulate the system to get to pop up a Disney movie, and it's gonna probably fail just like a movie of Mr. Evil. But you never know. Disney might, this movie might magically do better over the coming weeks, in America, and might be one of those movies that open like 26 to 27 million and magically pass $100 million at the box office like movies of Mr. Evil did. But hopefully it does not happen. This movie performs average and makes like $60 to $70 million domestically. Because it's still heading towards that. If you put a comparison on the numbers against another similar movie, Doolittle, okay, was opened with the same amount of money as Cruella, whereas the numbers does not have the box office updated here. For some reason, they do not have the box office updated for this movie. But if you compare it to a movie like Doolittle, okay, which, yeah, I don't know why that's the first movie I came up with, but if you compare that to Doolittle, okay, it had the same opening and also opened on a 4-day weekend, and ended up and actually ended up a much higher gross. The movies would end up eventually grossing 30 to 34 million. But the difference between Doolittle and Cruella is that Doolittle was made for younger audiences. Meanwhile, Cruella is made for a more mature audience, as the movie is rated PG-13, and Doolittle is rated PG. So Doolittle is made for more younger audiences compared to Cruella, which is rated PG-14. And Doolittle actually had pretty good ratings at the box office, but then it was still a massive box office failure. But it actually had pretty good ratings at the domestic box office until the pandemic came around. I bet if the pandemic didn't come around, it would probably made similar amount of money to Alita Battle Angel domestically, around 80 to 85 million. And if it wasn't for the pandemic, obviously, because of course that's when the pandemic hit and it just disappeared at the box office altogether. And again, the critics probably eventually hit and said, yeah, this movie sucks. And people finally said, yeah, we agree. No more. And again, Onward did come out, and finally, and again, Saw came out, and that movie didn't really defeat Doolittle. So, if you look at the upcoming movies, yeah, we have Conjuring in the Heights. Peter Rabbit was actually pushed back to June 11th. I'm actually gonna have to change that then. Peter Rabbit was pushed back to June 11th. Boss Baby was pushed back. And yeah, we might have some movies moved up. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Venom Let There Be Carnage gets moved up, and Infinite comes back on theaters because of how well And yeah. And yeah, we have the box office here. I'm gonna go and move up Peter Rabbit to June 11th. Then you know, yeah, Peter Rabbit might have to be moved up. Yeah. We could go on to we can just go on to YouTube Studio and do it. Cause yeah, Peter Rabbit was obviously pushed up as well. Cause that movie was already out in the UK. I don't know why they. Yeah, I think it's a bad idea to make it put release on the same week as Spirit Untamed. Saying that June 18th now it's gonna be June 11th and the movie's coming out in theaters. There we go. Peter Rabbit 2 is coming out on June 11th because that's when the movie's actually coming out. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if some movies that were pushed back are going to be here. And yeah, I don't think whatever this is on December 22nd is sustainable. Downtown Abbey 2, Kingsman, The Matrix 4, Sing 2, and Spider-Man. 5 massive releases. Like some of these movies here. Okay. Here. Yeah, Cinderella was canceled, but really wasn't gonna always watch that. But that was the Cinder. That was like that was going to be the woke version of Cinderella. I don't really think many movies are gonna come back to, you know, I want to go back to only streaming or partial streaming. There's gonna probably be those releases that will come out partial streaming, but I think that's gonna be a gone era because people just don't want to do that anymore. As shown by the box office, even though Cruella is not that great, I think people are starting to say, yeah, we don't want this anymore. We don't want this anymore. We want to watch movies in theaters. Thank you. Goodbye. So that's basically it about this video. We'll see how the next batch of releases do next week. So Spirit Untamed, Samaritan, and Conjuring the Devil Made Me Do It. We'll do a Wednesday box office update, box office preview. Then we'll of course, they'll actually talk about Thursday because the Thursday previews come out around Friday. So they usually come out around Friday. So the Thursday previews come out around Friday, which is where we got the Quiet. Because yeah, we're going to go see when the Quiet Place Thursday previews were around. That was 3 days ago. So 3 days ago was Sunday, Saturday, yeah, Friday. So yeah, we'll do our own. We'll talk about the movies on like Wednesday or Thursday, and of course we'll talk about the Thursday previews for all 3 movies, how well they're gonna do at the box office. Because you can really tell how well they can do at the box office, and how well they compare to other movies as well. And yeah, we'll go over the mainstream ones as well. So that's basically it about this video. Goodbye.